only prescription is more cowbell.
I am broken system, broken trust, and I approve this message.
For legal reasons, that's a joke.
Oh, shit. Here we go again.
Welcome back to the channel, my friends. We are here on a special Thursday night. As you guys know, I am pretty much out of the frauditor game. But because of this video, I had to go get my press pass, had to throw on the quarter zip. And we're here. This is going to be a guy that I've only covered a few times in my life. Let me throw this on there. Audio shared. This is what we're covering today. So this is going to be Press NH Now's ex-girlfriend and mother of his child, who wants to come forward. As you guys know, I enjoy giving the little guy a platform. I enjoy giving the victim a voice, if you will. Again, I haven't covered him as of like recently as I would probably have liked, but this video came out. It is 22 minutes and 4 seconds. We are going to watch probably all 22 minutes and 4 seconds. I'm going to throw my 2 cents in when I need to. That's all I really have to say about this. The views expressed in this video are the opinions of the original channel owner and not the opinions of the KFARR News Network. Now that that's disclaimers out there, yeah, we're just going to jump into this because this is, if you guys have been keeping up with Frauditor Troll's channel, he covered why Press NH Now is currently in jail. And he said it was personal. And I believe his now girlfriend said it's a personal reason why he's in jail. Well, this lady is the reason, and we're going to break this down. Enjoy or be informed. It'll pick up with volume, I swear. There we go.
Hey everybody, this is Amber Lynn, Mark Manchin's ex-girlfriend, who he decided to publicly bash on his YouTube channel. You'll have to excuse me, I have a bit of a cold right now. So I'm going to do a friend request on Snapchat. However, he did. I took it to the police department because there was an active DVRO due to reasons that I kind of don't want to disclose because I don't want to put myself through that mental mindset again. All of this has been very traumatizing, and I've had to do quite a bit of extra therapy lately to try to get through it. It just doesn't make sense. I want to start off by saying Mark came up to New Hampshire. I'm sorry I'm all over the place, but Mark came up to New Hampshire to turn himself in on the warrant that he had gotten from contacting me on Snapchat. And I believe that he was under the impression that he was going to be getting out the same day that he turned himself in. However, there was a new law passed in New Hampshire where you do not get out right off when you violate a DVRO. It's not a happening thing. So he's trying to say that I sent him a friend request. Right here, if I wanted to add him, all I have to do is press add. But I didn't. There it is from that day where, you know, he sent me a friend request, and, you know, I was getting out of my car. I was dealing with our baby at the time, who was, oh God, she was probably like maybe 16 months or so. I'm just taking a guesstimate because, I mean, she's 26 months right now. This happened back in July. Yeah, maybe she was a little older than that. But anywho, I was dealing with her, getting out of the car and everything, and I accidentally bumped the accept thing. So there it is again. And there's where I accidentally bumped it. I had told the police, you know, about the whole thing. I have multiple screenshots. I mean, there it is again, to accept it. This is his profile. And there it is, like, you know, you have to press add in order to have somebody as a friend on there and then send them a request, which he did. He did it to mine, accept. Okay, so it says recently joined. Now this is his profile.
I can't. I can't with just the way he looks. How old is he? I don't like age shaming, so I'm gonna wait until I get how old he is. But I feel like he's too old to be dressing like that. And I know a bunch of people are in chat saying, I'm not shocked that a frauditor would do any of this. Exactly right. Exactly right. That's kind of why I'm showing this. Because he's 39. Dear Lord, he looks 50. But this is the thing that kills me. It seems like every other week we are finding out a random bit of information about a frauditor that makes them look even worse. And I know a couple people were actually talking about him the last week, a week and a half ago, maybe. And it's just like, what a time. What a time to fumble the bag. What a time.
His public profile, he posted, selfies and stuff on it. Yeah. So there's that again, just to reiterate. I accidentally bumped it and accepted him, but I never sent him a request. There's more of a story. There's our daughter. There's his profile again. And then there is him taking a screenshot of our conversations.
Not sure about that.
But I was doing the same thing because I was showing the PD, like, hey, look, like he's got access, but it's in my contacts. He tried saying like, oh, I don't have it, blah, blah, blah. But I mean, why would his photo and his name be there and then it say in my contacts, like if it wasn't in fact him? There's some more pictures of our daughter. That's my story. He viewed my story. See, he viewed it. Like, not just now, but just then. But see, he subscribed to me that day. And he uploaded all these to his public profile. This is like before I accepted his thing by accident. Yeah, see, then there's me, like a terrible picture of me, but, it's just, I don't know.
To me.
I just...
Yeah, so this is what I was going to talk about. As you guys know, because I talk about it all the freaking time at this point, I have many children. I have custody of all of my children. I see them every day. I could not imagine being a shitbag for my kids. Like, I see my kids every day. I walk them to school every day. I walk them home from school every day. I'm the one who does the homework, yada, yada, yada. And this guy does nothing, which is another frauditor trait, which is actually kind of wild because it seems like more times than not, they're shitbags that don't care for their kids. Just saying.
I want to clarify, for the record of, his lies and everything of that matter. Now, my next question is if he was innocent and he didn't send me the friend request on Snapchat, and I understand it's like, it's Snapchat. Okay, but it's still against the court order. If he was innocent and he didn't do it, then why do I have screenshots of him doing it? It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, to agree with you, it is just Snapchat, but because obviously this isn't about sovereign citizens, but let me segue for a second. It's just that first thing, because it goes from, well, it's just a thing on Snapchat to, oh, it was just one text message to, oh, it was just a lengthy email. And like, that was just the first baby step into more nonsense.
He knew what he was doing that day. He knew that he was violating the protection order, and he thought that I was going to fold just like his ex-wife, Maria, who has been working closely with him and they have a really weird friendship. I never cared for it when we were together, but he thought that I was going to fold like her and just not do anything about this whole thing, and just keep letting him get away with it. He always coerced me into dropping the charges, like the DVROs, and begging with the prosecutors and stuff to drop them. And I was like, this time, no. Like, you did it. You violated it. You have defamed me. You have done all this stuff to us. You moved to Florida, like, under the impression that I was going to go with you, but I left you. I left you months ago, man. I left him, oh God, like, I don't know, last year or something like that. We tried doing, we tried keeping things together for our daughter, but he couldn't get a grip on himself. He couldn't get a grip on like anything. So I was like, yeah, no.
Well, that's because he's big time YouTuber, man. He gets his way with everyone. I mean, except for what it looks like through my, what's it called? What am I looking for? Andre Sloan's videos. Through Andre Sloan's videos, it looks like he gets his way with almost everything outside of the law. So he probably thought you were going to be no different. And yeah, it looks like you got away. So it looks like you also didn't let him get his way.
I'm all set. Like, I'm all set. I don't care about the money and fame. I don't care about, what you think that you could offer me, what you think that you could do for our daughter, because you haven't done anything. I've been raising her alone with no support from him. Christ, even earlier, I was like, oh my God, like, wouldn't it be so funny if he told his followers, funnel it into her Cash App. I owe her child support. Just send whatever you're going to donate to her. Like, okay, cool, whatever. It wouldn't be used for luxury stuff. It would literally go right to my kid. All of his money that he gets from his followers goes towards his luxurious lifestyle and whatever girl he's going to, like, try to woo next. And it is what it is. I mean, that's none of my business, but the fact that he's lying to his followers is really irritating, and the things that they're saying about me personally are just, they're heinous. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a bad person. I did it again, and I apologize. From doing this as long as I have, I am a pro at stopping it so that I can grab a screenshot at the most ridiculous times. But no, I don't know how much you know about the frauditor game or how long you were with him while he was doing the frauditor game. But this is a gigantic problem with that community, is that none of them have any, I don't want to say morals, but they don't have any morals. Like, it seems like so many of them have children, abandon those children, and refuse to pay for it. I know one that I cover regularly owes something like $100,000 in back child support. Another one that I know, his sister has custody of his kid, has yet to pay child support. Yeah, 4 years. Yeah, none of these people take care of their children. A bunch of them have CPS called on them all the time. They lose their kids. This is a concerning thing that happens in the frauditor community. A bad choice by getting with him, but he got me at a time in my life where I was at my lowest, and he like love bombed me, and then all of a sudden, things went south and they didn't work between us, and obviously we are where we are today. I don't hate him. I don't dislike him. He made a lot of bad choices, and he violated a restraining order. That's, at the end of the day, that's what this is. He violated a restraining order, and he doesn't want to deal with the consequences that come with it. So I really don't know what to tell him. The only thing I really know, like, what to say is, I am fearful of this man. The amount of, mental abuse, the physical abuse, the emotional abuse, psychological, just everything that he had put us through, not only me, but like my other children as well. I have more than just the baby.
I think that's a decent spot to pause for a second. Just a heads up. No matter how big these channels are, he came to your house one night and never left. So he was a hobosexual. Good old hobosexual, whoever reminded me of that term last stream. No, this is a thing where no matter how large their channels are, they will be able to convince some of their low IQ subscribers to do some of the most heinous things to you. They will threaten your kid's school, They will threaten their houses. They will show up to their houses. They will call their jobs and try to get them fired by making nonsense claims. They will help them try to get EPOs on you, even though you just sit there and cover them on YouTube. These people, again, standards, morals, they have none. There's a few things you don't do, and these guys keep doing it. Dear Lord. He didn't tell you he was married and had a kid, then asked to date you after love. Oh, my Lord. Oh, my Lord.
He made it so that I can't have my other kids. And even seeing them now is like pulling teeth because the other parents, you know, the fathers are fearful that I'm going to get back with Mark, which I'm not going to. I have gotten married to someone else who, by the way, is not a cop. We were in college to try to become officers. So, I mean, that's something that I could never do when I was with Mark, obviously, because of what he does for a job, and he didn't want to be married to a cop. But it's my dream job. I've seen, you know, how people treat them, whatever. But Mark has made it so that, you know, I can't see my other kids because he abused them. He abused me. He abused our 2-year-old daughter. He hasn't seen her, actually seen her since August 19th of this year. He won't acknowledge pictures that I send to him. He doesn't want to hear her on the phone. He doesn't want anything to do with her unless I leave my marriage and go be with him. But I'm happy in life. I don't care if, you know, we have $1 million or we have $100. It doesn't bother me. I'd rather be broke than be, you know, bitter and unhappy and depressed and just hating my life and being fearful every single day that I wake up. Now I can wake up. My husband makes me breakfast and things are amazing. He's got the baby all fed, changed, and, you know, playing with her toys and everything, like everything that Mark couldn't do. So for him to be saying like all these things and like saying that I'm lying, I have all the proof. I've literally, you know, kept every single piece of proof, all the defamation, all of the psychological, mental abuse. I have all the pictures and videos of the physical abuse. I have everything. I have multiple court orders that like state everything that he's done. He's been arrested for DV. He's been arrested for violating restraining orders. He's been arrested just for everything. And honestly, it all started right where we live now. It all started where I'm living right now. 4 months into our relationship, but he couldn't handle that I was tired of his nonsense and I had left him. He just couldn't accept it. And I was like, dude, like, that's it. You know, that's it. It's the end of us. We're no more. Like, you live your lifestyle and I live my lifestyle. My lifestyle when I was with Mark consisted of me being, you know, trapped at home, being the only person to take care of the baby. If I left the house, you know, I couldn't just leave. I had to take the baby with me, take like everything that you have to take with a baby with you. He would go outside, smoke cigarettes, drink coffee. He'd be gone for hours. Like, I'd be like, dude, like, you know, can you watch her so that I can take a shower? He wouldn't. So I'd have to have the baby either in the shower with me or in the bathroom in one of her rocking chairs that she had.
That is absolutely wild. Again, as a father of 5, it's ridiculous that as a father he couldn't go, oh yeah, I can watch my child that I helped make for, you know, 30 minutes, an hour while you chill out and, you know, take a bath, do what you need to do. A frauder is a fake First Amendment auditor. Yes, it's more like a First Amendment auditor who is fraudulently saying he's doing XYZ or fraudulently getting money saying he's doing XYZ, yada, yada.
Just so that I could take a shower or use the bathroom or whatever, because I had that new mother's guilt. You know what I'm saying? Like when a baby is a newborn and you're like, oh no, I feel so bad when they're crying, blah, blah, blah. And that's another thing. When she was first born, I had a C-section, okay? She wasn't even 24 hours old, and we already had the state involved because Mark got in my face and was screaming at me in the hospital room. They told him that he needed to leave. And I begged them to let him back in because I couldn't do it alone because I had literally just gotten dissected, you know.
Well, okay, this is all starting to sound a little bit more familiar. Is this when he got like trespassed from the hospital and everybody was talking about it? Because if that's, again, father of a million over here, I could not imagine trying to shit talk Mrs. KFARR after she had just given birth. Like I couldn't imagine trying to get into an argument after she just pushed out a whole ass baby. Yes, this is the time. Okay. All right, now we're getting into the shit that I remember. That was probably one of the last times that I actually covered him.
And so they ended up, closing that case out and everything. But for the next 7 weeks after, when we got home from the hospital with our baby, I was sleeping on the couch. Whenever she made a single peep, okay, my daughter was a chest dweller is what I call them. Like, she was always on my chest because I couldn't get up. Like, I couldn't get up to, like, take care of her, so I took care of her right here on my chest in the bed. But whenever she cried, Mark would freak out. He'd start calling me every name in the book, so I was forced to, like, get myself through the pain and get the baby and I out in the living room on the couch. And that's where we were for 7 weeks until Mark decided that it was a good idea to flip out and throw a remote, and it bounced off the wall, then hit my face and shattered off my face, in which a domestic order was put in place for that, and he was taken out of the home. He had come back, and we had gotten into a wicked argument, and I was like, dude, like, I'm done with you treating me like this. So I gave the PD,
Okay, well, again, I'm great at capturing bad faces. When I first watched this video and I heard that you said a wicked argument, I'm just like, yes, that's a hilarious thing that people up there say. But like, it seems like he's mentally like not all there, or like he's got like some sort of bipolar disorder. Because it seems like in some of his videos, he's like here, but then 2 seconds later, he's way over here.
like, all the screenshots and the phone calls and stuff from that DV order when my daughter was 7 weeks old, and they arrested him on that. And he was once again thrown out of the house. Well, this was like in February of 24. May comes around, and I'm being told by the landlord that I have to pack up my kids and pack up my house and get out of there so that Mark can come back home, and I'm not allowed back there. So I went and found an apartment in Lebanon, and I moved up there with my children. Well, Mark forced me to go back to the house. He said, I'm not going to help you with the kids or anything. You're cut off. We're nothing, blah, 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 if you don't come back. This was Father's Day of 2024, which is also his birthday at that time. So I did. I gave up my apartment and moved back. So then it just progressively got worse and worse and worse. And then my car motor had blown up. A car in which I share, the title with Mark. So he constantly was stealing my car away from me. Well, I accidentally blew the motor because it was ticking anyhow since we had bought it. And I was carless from August until either late October or early November of 2024. And Mark made us walk everywhere. I was walking with a newborn, and, well, she wasn't newborn, but she was still a baby. So I was walking with her and my severely asthmatic daughter, bringing her to and from school, going to and from appointments, going to and from the store, which everywhere was like within a mile. But it still sucked because once it started getting cold, like, I had to walk everywhere. Mark had 2 cars at the time. He had a Honda Accord, and then he had his Mercedes-Benz. I asked if I could use the Accord to go for a appointment to see, they were checking to see if I had cancer, like ovarian cancer. And I never made it to that appointment because he told me no. So then...
so he just seems like an absolute gem. So he's basic... You could take him to the cleaners for child support at this point. Because if he makes $10,000 to $14,000 a month, you're going to be getting a good portion of that. Especially any back portion of that.
I get my car back and everything, and Mark takes it. He took it from me, and then he went and got a copy of the key. Well, then all of a sudden I get my car back because I was like, dude, whatever. Like, I went out and bought a different car anyhow. I had bought a different car and I had said that it was my brother's, and he was letting me borrow it. Those are the things that I had to do. I had to do what I had to do to be able to, still get my kids around, without having to expose them to, the coldness and stuff. So I did that. He gives me my car back once he finds out that I have somebody helping me, quote unquote. Even though I helped myself. I figured it out myself. And so he gives me my car back, and I park the other car up in Lebanon at a friend's house. And then, he ends up coming in the middle of the night on June 25th of this year, and he stole my car again. And so I was like, dude, like, you showed up on private property. You were being this way. Like, I have it all on video, man. I have it all on video. He was acting out of place. Like, he was being very, very irrational. So I put a restraining order on him. He was making threats, just being very derogatory. Like, he's not the person that you guys all think he is. I've dealt with a lot with this man.
To be fair, ma'am, in this community, he's actually exactly who we thought he was. It's weird because I've noticed a lot that frauditors are kind of two-faced to their community, where they will put on an act for everyone that they're doing videos for, yada yada, but then behind the scenes, they're a different animal. And it seems like he's a shit stain when he's making videos, and he's a shit stain behind the scenes, but he's somehow a bigger shit stain. At least some of them try to throw on a I'm a good guy face for the camera, but this guy, I couldn't imagine.
So he violates the restraining order by doing this whole Snapchat thing. And, I know I'm going to get cross-examined and everything. And, you violated an order, dude. You violated an order. I'm very fearful of you. I don't know what you're going to do when you get out of there. Like, now I have to move again. And I'm really tired of uprooting my family, having to move to run from him. I really am. Like, I'm scared. He has his followers driving by my house now, like, yelling and screaming, throwing stuff at the house. I mean, come on, man. Like, this isn't my property. This is somebody else's property, and now you're having your little minions, like, come and try to, like, destroy it. Like, come on.
They don't care because they're the big guy on campus. They're Mr. Big Dick. They're trying to swing it all over the place to put you back in your place. Like, that's plain and simple what it is. The lackeys doing it. Honestly, I would talk to the cops more simply because of what just happened with Lane Myers. Lane Myers got basically the book thrown at him because his subscribers were calling an attorney and his family. And that's just calling. These people are actually showing up to your home. Like, if you had video of them driving by saying anything, the only reason they have any reason to even talk to you would be because of him. So maybe I just want to see him in jail. I don't know.
Come on, dude. That's not even cool at all. So the fear is there. Like, I have to now dip into funds that, like, we were saving for a trip to now relocate once again. I have to keep my car under lock and key. Like, my car's not even out front of my house. It's literally locked away. I mean, I don't have transportation unless my husband's here to bring me to go and pick up my transportation so that I can use it for a few and then put it right back. I mean, what kind of life is that, man? Like, that's not cool. I've had to replace tires. I've had to replace the battery because somebody went underneath and clipped a cord to it or whatever the heck they did. They've scratched my car. They've busted my rims off from it, which, yeah, they were cheap, but I mean, come on, who does that? They're still your rims, Who does that? Like, if you have a problem, like, you don't want me in your life, sign off. That's all you have to do. Sign off on your daughter that you don't support or see or even acknowledge her existence. Stop lying to your fans. Be transparent. You're all about transparency, right, press? You're not being very transparent at all.
The secret's out. None of them are actually about transparency. Sorry, I let the cat out of the bag. None of the freedom fighters that are fighting for transparency want any type of transparency for themselves. Cat's out of the bag.
Like, now I'm sitting here when I could be doing my college coursework trying to explain myself when I should never have to do that. Auditors, girlfriends, and stuff are not supposed to be seen. They're in the background taking care of the family, doing what they need to do. It doesn't make sense to me. The way he...
Can I just say something real quick? What you just described is like the typical frauditor mindset is, oh, I'm out fighting for everybody's rights. My family's at home struggling so that I could be out here fighting for rights. And it's like, this isn't the military. Like, what you're doing is basically committing crimes for a few views on YouTube. But for some reason, they try to equate it to like the military. And I'll never understand that. Being someone that was in the military, it's just like you literally drive around the country to be a bother. You drive around the country to be the equivalent of Johnny Somali, who's currently stuck in another country because he broke the law a bunch of times and probably won't get out. That's what you are. But they act like they're like actually doing something, and they're just not.
Treated us every day that he got home from doing his job is 110 times worse. Like, you guys couldn't even imagine in your wildest dreams, like, the things that we went through after. You guys have seen what he's done to those people out there. Imagine that 110 times worse. I got it. Okay, I used to like be like this bubbly, sunshiny type person, and he broke me down. And like, now I'm in like therapy. Like, I do therapy every single day because I have to try to get over him, and like not him, but his trauma that he's inflicted onto me. It's not okay. And my poor husband has to like watch me go through this every single day, and it's just not okay. But I'm going to end it off here, and I'm going to say thank you guys for listening and hearing me out. Whatever you do, don't do his canteen. Like, don't donate anymore. Just don't donate anymore. It doesn't go where he's claiming that it goes. It doesn't go towards paying for fees for FOIA requests and paperwork and lawyers and stuff like that. He has a state-appointed lawyer right now. The only other lawyer he has is Leif Becker out of Portsmouth, New Hampshire, who is supporting him on our parenting case, but he's a free domestic violence lawyer, which Mark somehow got for the DV case that we had, in which is the only reason why he won. But just don't donate anymore. You guys are literally paying for a frauditor. Like, I mean, come on, dude. To like have fun, live a life of luxury. Well, his family that he claims to love and not abuse and stuff is just living how we live. I mean, I'm not saying that I don't care, or like that I'm not happy that I live the way I live, but I'm much better off without him, that's for sure. I'm much better off not being in fear. I'm better off, not having somebody who's like gonna violate restraining orders and go against the police and just be a negative person in my life. But thank you guys for listening and hearing me out. I'm sorry I'm very long-winded, but this is the full truth. This is your full transparency. And share my video, get it out there. I want everybody to know, especially his followers, exactly how he is. Thank you, guys.
Who's he punching? Or is he getting punched? All right, guys, so that's the video. I don't really know what to say. Todd, that's the thing, though. A bunch of frauditors do this where they make a bunch of money, but then they lie to the courts and say, oh, I'm just a broke bitch. And they're like, all right, here's your attorney. Troy, it kind of depends. It kind of depends on the, what's the law say? A time, place, and manner. If you want to record outside on the sidewalk, be my guest. But if you've noticed, it's gone from, oh, your husband came outside to help you get out of the house and he attacked him. That's frustrating. But yeah, Troy, if you want to do it on the sidewalk, yada yada, I'm fine with that. But if you notice, they're moving further and further away from government buildings and more doing it on private property, private businesses, yada yada. Yeah, there's no expectation of privacy in public areas. And even then, as DMA proved with, he got away with that charge even though it's literally recorded. Yeah, that's kind of bullshit. But no, as DMA proved with US versus DMA, Christopher Cordova, even with public areas, there's a time, place, and manner restriction. I'm just... The fake BSBT says there's no filming at strip clubs because that's private property. I'm just so... It's just frustrating because, like I said, I cover shit like this all the time now. Yes, Troy, I'm okay with that. I'm more... You'll find this if you follow channels like mine. I'm more... I don't want to say center when it comes to frauding, but some frauditors are... I don't want to say good, but are a net positive for society. I always... what's it called? I always pitch Ironton Auditor. He records traffic stops. He records traffic stops from like 20, 30 feet away, zooms in. Because it's 2025, your camera can pick up everything from that far, video-wise and audio-wise, and then goes after the police after the traffic stop, asks some questions, and they normally not spill the beans, but they're more open to discussing exactly what happened at the traffic stop, why the traffic stop was done, yada yada, because he's not trying to like record from inside their butthole so close, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, Troy, a bunch of frauders have actually started recording dispensaries, like on dispensary property. They're trying to record people coming and going from the dispensary. And then they're like, oh, I don't know why they trespassed me. And it's like, I could think of a reason. I go back and forth with Jeff Gray. Because apparently one of my biggest, he wanted to assault me at one point in Rogue Nation. He said he was going to like punch me, which I think is funny because I'm half his age and about a foot taller than him. But he said he wanted to fight me. He's a big guy of Jeff Gray. I believe Jeff Gray is the guy who like holds signs. Hold the sign wherever you want. If you want to stand in my yard and hold the sign, I don't really care. All right, that's the video. It was, like I said, there was a reason for the video. We watched it. Now I'm out. Thank you for stopping by. I greatly appreciate you actually showing up and giving us a little bit more info or details that we didn't have. Because like I said, I used to be more into the anti-frauditor covering these people type stuff, but they're dangerous. Like point blank, they're dangerous. I've had people come to my house, yada, yada. It's not a good look. It's not fun. I've had people threaten my kid's school. Again, not fun. But yeah, all right. I'm out of here. Everybody have a good rest of your day. What is it, Thursday? I got stuff coming out Friday, Saturday. I'm probably going to work on a video for Sunday right after this. Everybody have a good rest of your day. Peace.
You're still here? It's over.